This is my husband, Joey. Say hi.
Oh, hi.
I'm the big talker in the relationship. Most of you should know that already. When I first heard about this message that Pastor Craig is going to preach on stay, it being harder to stay and easier just to go, I thought it was pretty special because it's basically our story. In April of 2007, we had been dating for a good while. We were living together. We had not really talked about marriage because we both had been burned in past relationships and we weren't really sure we were ready to go down that road again. But all of a sudden, he got an amazing job opportunity out of the blue that would require him to move to Los Angeles. Well, he wanted to take the job, he wanted to go, and he wanted me and the kids to come with him. I didn't want to lose him, and I wanted the adventure of moving to LA. So we did what any mature, responsible couple of our age would do. We ran off to Vegas and got married.
I did a little white wedding chapel.
Same one Britney Spears got married at. That's how I always remember it.
Yes.
It's not as cheesy as it sounds, it was actually quite lovely. And cheap. Anyway, shortly after that, we moved to Los Angeles. He started his new job. I started looking for a job. After we had been there a few months, we realized that it just wasn't the place for us. He wasn't really thrilled with the new job. I was having a hard time finding a job. I was having a hard time making friends. It was horribly expensive to live out there, so by the time our first year's lease was up on our apartment, we were broke, miserable. He was sick of his job. I was sick of California. We were pretty much sick of each other. So when the lease was up, we packed up our moving truck and we split. He went back to Louisiana and I moved to Arkansas. Over the next year and a half, we stayed in touch. We talked a lot through text, through email, through Facebook chat. You couldn't tell really that we were separated. We were just really good friends. We really liked each other. We really had good conversations. He loves my kids like they're his own, so he stayed in touch with David and Madison, and things just kind of limped along. We talked about divorce, filled out the paperwork, filed it with Benton County. They lost the paperwork, we had to start over. Well, it just so happened that he has a brother that lives in north central Arkansas in Mountain Home. And when he would get off work, in Salem, Arkansas, when he would get off work, he would come up to Salem to visit his brother for a few days, and sometimes he would come and visit us. We would watch movies, we'd hang out, I'd cook. We just had a good time, and then he would leave. And there came a time when he called on Friday afternoon, I think it was, and said that he was at Jamie's, that's his brother, and that he wanted to come visit. Was it okay for him to come visit for the weekend? Did we have any plans? I said, no, we don't have any plans. As a matter of fact, I could use a husband for the weekend. And I laughed. I had something I needed done, some clean out the garage or something. I can't remember what it was, but I needed some help. So he says, okay, I'll come and help. So we spent the weekend together. We did whatever it was. I think it was cleaning out the garage, moving boxes, something. When he was getting ready to leave, I wish I could remember exactly what the words were, but when he was getting ready to leave that Sunday afternoon, I think you were the first one to say, what exactly is it that you want? And the bluntness and the courage that it took him to say that out loud just totally blew me away. I don't know if any of you have ever seen me at a loss for words, but I was. I was honest with him. I told him what I wanted. I told him what I wanted from a marriage and what I expected from a marriage and what I expected from him. And he did the same. He told me exactly what he wanted from me and what he expected from me and what he needed from me. I wanted a husband. I wanted a family. He wanted a wife. And he wanted a family. and cats. We spent the next few weeks talking a lot. When he got off work in late January, he packed all his stuff in his truck that was at his sister's house, packed it all in his truck, and he came home. And that's where he's been ever since. It's been 2 years. It has not been easy. He will tell you that he is no day at the beach to live with. I will tell you that I am no day at the beach to live with. There have been times when we have both wanted to walk away. One of us said something stupid a couple weeks ago, and I told him, I said, you know, we are both so messed up that we absolutely have to stay together because we're not any good for anybody else. But I don't believe that God sees it that way. I don't believe that God sees that we're no good for anyone else. I believe that we were standing on that porch that night when he was getting ready to leave, and we were having that conversation. I truly believe God was saying, it's not that you two are not good for anybody else. It's that the two of you are really, really good for each other. So why don't you stay? And I praise him every single day that I wake up that we listened.